Hello, everybody. Hope everything's well, and as always, let's jump right into this. Now, I want to start off this video with a comment uh, by a person who watches my videos. Um, if you master alchemy or quantum physics, you can clearly create reality and genetically engineer and modify any living things. The different races of people walking this planet today were literally created through a process of genetical engineering or genetic engineering. Now, for the white people who watch this, they're probably going to be like, oh, well, he spelled genetic wrong, or, the grammar Nazis. And you shouldn't really worry about that. The point is, this person gets it. You understand? All right? When you master these sciences, okay, you can master your own reality. You can create your own reality. You understand? Thank you for sharing, NFR Legend. Hope you share more in the future. Okay, and I'm sorry if I put you on blast, if I made you feel uncomfortable in any way. All right. Now, Michio Kaku, I use him in some of my other videos. You guys are familiar with him if you have watched my previous videos. Um, he's going to be talking about the 3 civilization types. Okay. Now I'm going to just let you listen to what he has to say, and then I'm going to comment.
When we physicists look in outer space for alien life, we don't look for little green men. We look for type 1, type 2, and type 3 civilizations. A type 1 civilization has harnessed planetary power. They control earthquakes, the weather, volcanoes. They have cities on the ocean. Anything planetary, they control. That's type 1. A type 2 civilization is stellar. They've exhausted the power of a planet, and they get their energy directly from their mother star. They just don't get a suntan on a weekend. They use solar flares. They use the power of the sun itself to energize their huge machines. Eventually, they exhaust the power of a star, and they go galactic. They harness the power of billions of stars within a galaxy. Now, for example, Buck Rogers would correspond to a Type 1 civilization, a planetary civilization. Star Trek and the Federation of Planets, who have colonized the 2-star systems, would correspond to a Type 2 system. And the Empire of Star Wars would correspond to a Type 3 civilization. Now, what...
Okay. Now, and I'm going to play the rest of it in a little bit so you can hear our type of civilization that we have, the one that we live in. Now, you heard what he said. A type 1 is the one that can control the weather, which people already know, and I talked about it before about HART, but that's underground. That's shadow government. That is not known to the public, so that doesn't necessarily count. And he said type 2 is when they can control the sun's, they get power directly from the sun through the sun flares. All right, which I'll be showing you a different video of that shortly. And it really has nothing to do with, yeah, they're getting energy, but it's also something else. They're changing the frequency, but I'll get into that in the next video that I'm going to show you. And then he said type 3 civilization was the one who can harvest or control the stars in a galaxy. All right, and we know that there's probably civilizations who control, you know what I'm saying, a whole universe, because we know parallel universe in there. But I'm jumping around here, and I apologize for that. Now, the comment I read before, all right, in order for one to even do that, remember, these stars are just made up of, hydrogen, oxygen, and all that, right? These elements are and particles, atoms. All right, and people are gonna be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You just said a whole bunch of stuff. It's made up of these fundamental particles, okay? And we can all agree to that. All right? So everybody, that's basic science. Now, when you master that, you can control that. That's the point I'm trying to make here. You understand? Now, I'm going to let you hear what our type civilization is, Then I'm going to move on to the next video.
Are we on this scale? We are type 0. We don't even rate on this scale. We get our energy from, not from stars or galaxies, we get our energy from dead plants, oil and coal.
Okay, now I've talked about this in a previous video. We already know why we get it from, why we still use fossil fuels, okay? Because we can obviously be using free energy already. Most likely even, it could have started even in the 1920s. That's how early, even earlier than that. But let's continue here, okay? Now, this is, as you can see here, the video clearly states, giant video near the sun harvesting energy, all right? Now, some of you who've been doing your research probably already seen this video. It's old. It came out in 2012. Okay, let's look at this real quick. All right. And for those of you who's like, oh, this is fake, flat Earth and everything, I understand that. The reason why the sun looks like that, or these stars, all right, is because if you watch my flat Earth theory video, or if you've done your own research, of course, you would know that the lens on the camera is creating that illusion to make it look like a globe. All right. For those who didn't know, that I was just addressing that. But let's look at this more. All right. As you can see, this ship or body or whatever it is, okay, not only is again energy, it's changing the frequency. All right. Because remember, light carries information, and this sun's hitting us every day. You guys understand? And the only way one could do that is if they master quantum physics, if they master alchemy. All right? So this might just be one giant experiment to an intelligence more vast than our own. All right? But take that as you will. I'll leave that for you guys for your own interpretations. All right? Now this guy has been doing his own research. I feel like this actual video came out in the 90s, was posted in 2016. As you can clearly see, if you can't see it, that's when it was posted. I'm going to put all the videos in the description, of course. Now, he's talking about how not only did they find, well, he's talking about these people, how they saw the body of Osiris, okay? Now, for those of you who know what suspended animation is, if you're into sci-fi videos, you know what it is. People who have to travel long distances in space, and I'm using quotation marks, all right, because it's light years and everything, they got to travel to a distant star system and everything. All right, movies such as Prometheus or Alien or Passenger, all right. They're saying that they found Osiris in suspended animation. Now, people are like, well, how's that possible? They don't have the technology. And it's supposed to be a myth. Osiris is not real. Listen to this. If we're talking about beings on a higher caliber than our own, all right, who already mastered science, who mastered alchemy and quantum physics and spirituality and things of that nature, the occult. And suspended animation really is just you preserving the body so that it can last longer periods of time. Now, these beings could probably do that without going into this meditative state. Now, some of you are wondering, well, why he's in this meditative state. He's traveling the astral realm, all right, to become more than he already was. Also, most of y'all, if you read the Buddhist texts and they talk about reincarnation and how some consciousness are living 3 or 4 lives at once, and that's spreading the energy. Now, a being of this caliber has the enough energy to be living more than one life, to be living more than one experience. All right, because remember, gods. All right, you are gods having a human experience. All right, or are we just a piece of the mind of a god? Let's see. All right, but again, and this even gets into the creating of the Caucasian, because they would have to take a piece of one of these beings, their melanin, their neuromelanin, to make a whole nother race. And for that race to operate and function properly in this reality. And I know that it all sounds crazy. All right, but if you've been doing the research and you've been looking into this stuff, you'll see what I'm saying. He's gonna mention this stuff right now, okay? And he's gonna talk about the light based technologies that he came up with and the government is now using to control light. Now, if you can control light, do I really need to say any more? And I just showed you. Okay? Now I'm gonna let you listen to this. All right, and then I'm gonna comment some more.
And that's Osiris himself. Through the text of Ina, or was it the pyramids of Unas, where they had the pyramid text describing Osiris's death, where he went from Heliopolis across a body of water, laid in rest for 70 days, and then down the roads of Rasta. Those people are saying the body is in the fortress by those texts, but you would think, oh, well, then we should find the body, but nobody's looking, because Pharaoh of the Osiris nature is a myth. But then when I get into the village and people that have been inside and through UNESCO and gone up and seen the body of Osiris sleeping, not mummified. This is why the mummy is a little different. This is laying a body down and the soul is traveling. And the people that have seen him over a period of 20 years, 2 times, said the second time that this body was getting stronger. And he's just laying on a slab of stone that has a force field around it. And this is up around the upper chambers of the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, where they went, Danny and Brinkley, and they were digging years ago. And we had some rocks that were brought down, and we were calling it illegal tunneling going on. This was all in the area of the body of Osiris.
Do you think then that...
Okay, now let me just say something on this. Maybe that is why they're just killing a lot of people off and cloning a lot of people to make things seem the way they are. Because now, since Osiris is starting to wake up, you understand what I'm saying? A lot of you who are connected are going to be coming online. All right, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just go back and watch my quantum mind mental transmutation video, and you'll understand where I'm coming from. 360 senses. Okay. Now I'm gonna play the rest of this video. He's gonna talk about the light-based technologies. All right.
that this could possibly mean, and this may sound very strange, but that he could be in a suspended animation?
This is the way I would interpret it. Or in some strange twist of all this, me, in the paranormal sense of all this, what has energized me and brought me into this arena where, I'm a navigator moving ships around the world. I get out and I have these ideas of the pyramid as a processor of light, and I have the mechanics to break it all down celestially, solar-wise, and understand all this. But then, in the very, very beginning, a field of energy came through me. And I went back on the computer and keyed up that day and hour and looked, and I saw the star Alnitak in line with the pyramid meridian. And it kind of scared me in some sense because I didn't know what happened. And I've always been looking for things that could have happened. but I wasn't sure that that entity of Osiris came into me and woke me up and gave me my vision in life and what I'm supposed to be doing, because it's not been easy to take and write patents on the Great Pyramid to control sunlight and put it into the public, because in that process the government, our own government here in America, has stolen my best work off of these patents in the Solar One power plants out in Daggett, and basically refining light down for 2,000 ambient temperatures up to 50,000 times the ambient temperature using tertiary systems, and knowing your position, calculating the sun. You can control this light much easier. Well, they didn't do that before they were exposed to the patents of my work using the pyramid to do such a task.
Right.
So with all that, it's like an awful journey to get the knowledge out, because you're dealing with Egyptologists. No, this is a tomb for Pharaoh. No, it's a power process, and then you patent it, and then the government takes it, and they've got it in the Golden Colorado Research Laboratories doing things that you wouldn't even imagine.
Oh, really?
But that's them taking my things, and the Egyptians suppressing it. So I've had this life of struggle to get, and I appreciate the time to even sit here and share with your listeners.
We're glad you're here.
All right. Now you heard what he said. Okay, and I'm gonna put the link in the description so you can hear more and watch the whole video on your own, of course. Now I'm gonna show you a video of what they could be possibly doing with these technologies, and how they're transcending dimensions or peeking into. Now, when you watch this can be of your own interpretations again, right? You can either say it's government, or you can say that's beings of higher caliber coming down and into our reality. Let's look at this video here. And as you can see, it's almost like a portal opening up, and it shoots down these things that are, you can't really describe. It's just balls of light. All right. And I'll play it back again one more time, of course. Like I said before, this is the time and we're in now. Changing of the age, it's just the returning back of the supernormal. But again, make your own interpretations. All right, so it's all about you decide. All right, peace and balance to the ancient ones.